All right, how's everybody doing? This is the Comic Samurai. I want to welcome you to Comic Bowl 3. Tonight is the playoff section of the competition where 64 of the all-time best comic book covers are going to go up against each other in heads-up battles. It's single elimination, so the winners move on and the losers go home. Now the matchups were all chosen in random order, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First up, we've got this Silver Surfer number 18 featuring a beautiful Ron Lim cover, Galactus, going up against the In-Betweener with the Silver Surfer looking on, but it's got its hands full going up against this Captain America Annual 8, one of the best, most revered comic covers of all time, done by Mike Zeck. You see Wolverine's adamantium claws hitting Cap's shield there, the moment of impact, the sparks ignite, flames are flying, but this one features a moment of impact too. Galactus striking the In-Betweener. Are we going to see an upset on the very first one? I had no idea this was going to be so close. I love that green accent there. All the cosmos in the background. This one's just kind of got designs in the background. This one's a UPC version. This one's got, oh, look at that thumbnail there. That UPC box has got that image of the book becoming the bird, taking flight that tips the scales in Captain America's favor. So Silver Surfer is the first one to go home, giving Captain America the very first victory of the night. Next up is Spider-Man number 1, that famous Todd McFarlane cover, going up against Barry Windsor Smith, Conan the Barbarian number 19. Oh, one of the most beautiful colored comic books I've ever seen, going up against this iconic, the most homage cover that's ever been drawn. I love both of these. This is the bagged version that doesn't have a price printed on the cover there, but this one, oh, the colors on it, they just glow off the page there. I do like metallic ink there. They use that gimmick on this one. I love that image in the thumbnail there. This one doesn't even have a UPC box there. Is Barry Windsor Smith going to beat out Todd McFarlane tonight? Oh, the bags on this one. I even like the graphic designs that they used on the bag images there. Is there any demerits on this one? I love the pink contrasting there with the colors, the orange, the yellow. The sail in the background there. Oh, this is so close. Already we've got such a great heads-up battle there. I don't want to send either one of these home. But if I had to say, greatest comic book cover in my mind, is it going to be this one? It's so against my nature to call out one that has so much pink on the cover. But I got to prove that I don't mind it when it's done right. Therefore, this Conan is going to take the win in the first upset of the night. And it sends Spider-Man Todd McFarlane packing. Next up, we've got The Dark Knight Returns number 1. One of the most iconic covers, if not the most iconic Batman cover of all time. Going up against this New Mutants number 93. That early Liefeld work there. I loved his earlier takes on Wolverine and Cable. That character that he created, I just love both of these. Oh, look at the colors on this one with that lightning bolt going down there. The silhouette of the Dark Knight. But Wolverine, I love how his teeth are drawn there, his claws. This is one of the few covers that I ever redrew there. I remember using a ruler to draw his claws so straight. Something about this one works. Oh, but this one, it's such a classic. It's such a great story, too. Do I remember anything about the story on this one? Not much of it. This one sticks with me. Therefore, The Dark Knight Returns takes its first win tonight, sending the New Mutants home. I hate to see that. Next up, we got Shotgun Mary, number 1, done by Antarctic Press, up against Superman, number 199. The very first race between Superman and the Flash. We've got two beautiful covers here. Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum. This classic Silver Age going up against this more modern one here. This is a Taillight cover. This one's been homaged a couple times. It was the very first race. Oh, it's hard to beat the first of anything. However, this one's always been underrated and overlooked. I love how she uses her shotgun shell belt as an accessory there. Oh, that background there with that turquoise blue. Oh, but this black one, it's so hard to find in good shape. Which one of these is going to take the win? I gotta say, just because of the hokiness of the story on here, I remember it was so contrived. Shotgun Mary takes the win, sending both the Scarlet Speedster and the Man of Steel home. Next up, we've got Oz number 1 by Caliber. That beautiful Jack Pumpkinhead cover going up against the Punisher War Journal number 6, that classic Jim Lee image. The very first time Punisher and Wolverine met each other, going up against Jack Pumpkinhead here with that black border there. Oh, these are such great comic books. I love every one of them, and I hate to send one of them home. All right, which one do I like better, though? It jumps out at me. I just know Wolverine so much better, and the Punisher. I had to see how those two iconic characters were going to mix and match. This one I didn't know much about, but it was that suspense. I couldn't wait to open it up and see what it was about. Oh, which one of these am I going to choose to go on? Okay, if I had to say which one is the more worthy of the trophy, would be a representation of my favorite. I love this one. The lighting from underneath. It was unlike anything I'd seen before. Punisher War Journal takes the win, sending Caliber home. Dang it. Next up, we've got Ghost Rider number 27. Another Jim Lee image going up against Fantastic Four number 112. That beautiful Bashima image. Those hard blacks there. What a beautiful comic. The Jade Giant going up against the Thing. Right here we've got Ghost Rider done how he's supposed to do with Wolverine, Gambit, Jubilee, Cyclops up against the Brood. There's a lot happening here. This isolation of the black, though, sometimes I like that. I do like how his eyes were done on this one. There's a Submariner one where they didn't color his eyes right. But everything was done right on both of these covers. No UPC box. We've got a direct sales with the Dale Keown image of the Hulk there. What about, oh, that pink in the thumbnail. That's what it came down to. If they hadn't used pink right there, I love that text image, but it just sucked the energy out of that cover, and therefore, Ghost Rider takes a loss, giving the Fantastic Four an easy win. Next up, we've got New Mutants, number 87, that Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld image going up against the Amazing Spider-Man number 328. This was McFarlane's last work on the Amazing Spider-Man, and he went up against the Grey Goliath there, the Grey Hulk, Joe Fixit. Okay, and we got cosmically powered Spider-Man hitting him right in the bread box, but the introduction of Cable. This is an homage cover to an Avengers comic, but that's not necessarily a demerit here. Which one of these is the better cover? Oh, I love this one. Look at how it interacts with the trade dress there. That's definitely a bonus. This one's straightforward. I love that image there. In the UPC box, I don't mind this one in the corner there. This one turned me on to the New Mutants, but this one, every time I want to be inspired to draw, I look at that comic book, and therefore the Amazing Spider-Man takes a win, sending the New Mutants packing. Next up, we got Unity number 0, that giveaway comic by Barry Windsor Smith by Valiant Comics, up against the Incredible Hulk number 350. This image by Purvis is one of my favorites. I think it's so underrated. My favorite fight between the Thing and the Hulk there. It's Joe Fixit versus the spiky Thing within a battle orchestrated by Doom. But you have all these Valiant characters. I just loved it. Going across time in this Unity crossover there. Giveaway comic. It meant so much to me to be given it by a proprietor in Provo, Utah there. All the colors on this one, but the lighting. Look at how it illuminates the Thing's visage from underneath there. Both of those, you can smell those two behemoths. This one is just a little too static, whereas this one, I want to see that fight more than anything in the world. That means Unity takes a loss and the Incredible Hulk moves on. Next up, we've got Daredevil, number 5. This was a variant of that comic book, Death of Karen Page, done by Joe Quesada, up against Batman number 417, 10 Nights the Beast tie-in, done by Mike Zeck, who makes another appearance in tonight's Comic Bowl. Look at the lighting on those buildings there. It was so beautiful how they're lit from below. The Dark Knight swinging in there. I love that. The purple in the trade dress there. And look at how they have a little bit of a theme there. So you know it's tied to that storyline. But this one with those 3 colors there, that stark image of Matt Murdock holding his fallen love there. I love Quesada's take on this. The writing by Kevin Smith was so good. Which one of these is a better representation of what I like in comic books? I've always gravitated towards a hero who's triumphant rather than being defeated. A melancholy comic book is amazing, but it'll never be my favorite. That Batman takes the win, sending Daredevil home. All right, next up we've got Conan, number 248, an Art Adams image there, going up against Classic X-Men number 30, a Stephen Lightly cover here. This one's got humor in it. This one's a beheading and a bondage cover, a twofer. Oh, look at the image of Sean Cassidy, Banshee in the thumbnail there. The humor that's involved there, holding the screwdriver like, oh, maybe we can fix the Hulk. And he's got his head on his claws there. Oh, and it's an homage or a callback to Hulk 181. Wolverine fought him in his very first appearance, and here he's getting the better of him. Conan beheading. And while I do love a beheading and a bondage cover, It's a fairly new trend in comic books, whereas this one has always been one of my favorites, and you just can't overcome that. While Art Adams gave it his college best try, Conan takes a fall tonight, and the classic X-Men move on. Next up, we got the Amazing Spider-Man number 301. That great image, which is an homage to number 300, but I think it's even better done by Todd McFarlane, up against Alpha Flight number 13. My favorite image done by John Byrne of Wolverine in his street clothes there, protecting Heather Hudson in a dream sequence there. Look at the cemetery scene there. I love how he sets a mood here. This one is a great graphically done image. However, there's not really a mood. It doesn't really tell a story. And while I do love a comic book cover that is just an image of the hero, this one just tells so much more of a story. It compels you to open the comic book more. Alpha Flight takes the win, sending the Amazing Spider-Man home. Next up, we've got The Crow by Tundra, Volume 3, or issue number 3, going up against the Uncanny X-Men number 251, that Mark Silvestri cover there, of him being crucified, that they paid homage to in the Deadpool 2 movie there. But this one is the first printing of the end of Eric Draven's saga, getting revenge against those who killed his girlfriend and himself. This Black Stark J.O. Barr image going up against this iconic Silvestri image. Which do I like? You know what? I think it was Green who did the inking on this, and some of those lines in the background for Rain were just a little too repetitive, and the details in the skulls were lost. Although this isn't the focus of the cover, because it's in the foreground, it should have been detailed a little more, and it's a demerit. This one has absolutely no demerits, and therefore takes the win, sending Wolverine and the X-Men home. Next up, we've got Iron Fist number 15, the winner of Comic Bowl 2, going up against the Fantastic Four number 348. This beautiful Art Adams image of the new Fantastic Four with Joe Fixit, the Grey Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Danny Ketch's Ghost Rider there, that white background there. Love the image of the Mole Man in the thumbnail there. This one's got a UPC, so it's just kind of eaten up a little bit of it, but this is the only cover that I know of that has Wolverine in that costume there. I love that image. I love that costume there. What are we going to do? The Exploding Lines, this champion, up against this classic Art Adams. This is the hardest one I've seen before. I love the colors. Look at how it's got every color in the rainbow there. Up against this one with the white that isolates those characters. Which one did I have more fun reading? It's got all the X-Men in it and Iron Fist. Iron Fist. You know, he just was a character I had a hard time connecting with. It got bonus points because it had the X-Men in it on this one and that one-of-a-kind costume of Wolverine, but it takes a fall early in tonight's Comic Bowl, and this Art Adams Fantastic Four moves on. Oh, I just love these. These are some hard decisions. This is great matchups. Next up, we've got the Incredible Hulk number 340, which some people, including McFarlane, have called the greatest comic book cover of all time. And for that reason, I kind of want to stick it to it. I never like it when somebody who draws something says it's the best ever. Let other people say that about your work. Don't say that, Todd McFarlane. Next up, we got Batman number 366, Walter Simonson. Look at how he incorporated typography in the architecture there. The Joker going up against Batman, Hulk versus Wolverine. Oh, this is so hard. The coloring on this one is beautiful, and it complements Todd's work so good. This Al Milgrom image there, though, is a demerit. Are there any demerits in this one? No. I already reviewed this one, and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. Therefore, Hulk 340 is taking a fall, and it suffers a loss tonight, going home, leading Batman to continue the charge. Next up, we've got Uncanny X-Men number 268. I love this image. I had it on a t-shirt when I was in high school, going up against Longshot number 4. Art Adams makes another appearance in the Comic Bowl. This used to be my favorite comic book cover that features a female superhero there. I love the She-Hulk's image there, those leg warmers. They go so far with me. But this image of Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Widow there, looking off into the sunset, I love everything about that one. Their feet are a bit cheated, though. You got Spider-Man swinging in. Both of these are mixes of unexpected heroes. You don't usually expect to see these heroes grouped together or these, but because of the She-Hulk there, the way she's drawn, something about it, I think it is the perfect drawing of a superheroine ever done, and therefore, Longshot takes the win, sending the Uncanny X-Men packing. Oh, this is so much fun. Next up, we've got JSA number 78, one of my favorite images done by Alex Ross, going up against Marvel Comics Presents number 46, one of my favorite versions of Wolverine. I love Liefeld's take here. It is such a beautiful comic, and this is a wraparound, but I always judge a wraparound cover just by the front image, and I think that might be enough tonight. Look at how he did the eyebrows and his hair, arrows sticking out of his back, and look at how he did that little detail of the purple tracing around Wolverine's silhouette. But then again, you've got Jay Garrick. Look at that. He is a hero here. He looks like a runner, an aged runner who's still got it. He's past his prime, but he still can beat anybody who goes against him. I love that image. Look at the colors on it, the red, the yellow, those blue pants. Oh, that image of Namor is a demerit, and therefore that image of Jay Garrick takes the win against Marvel Comics Presents Liefeld. Next up, we've got Iron Man, number 152, and time again, I say that is the coolest comic book cover that I own. Going up against Ghost Rider number 15, my favorite gimmick cover of all time, done by Mark Texeira. The glow in the dark image of this one is absolute perfection. They couldn't have done a better glow in the dark image than this one. However, oh, that black armor, the stealth armor, it wasn't used very long. They didn't overdo it, and that's so key for me with a photograph in the background. Ah. The big demerit, having an advertisement on the cover. I would never say that my favorite comic book cover has an advertisement on the cover. It's not rock and roll. It's not cool. Therefore, I retract my statement, and Iron Man falls on this one to the mighty spirit of vengeance. Next up, we got the Uncanny X-Men number 212, one of the hardest comic books for me to find in good condition. First fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth, going up against Necroscope number 1. The best holographic cover I've ever seen, that image of the skull. And while I don't think this one gets nearly enough attention, this has always been just an iconic cover in my mind. It was the first one I really sought after and wanted to hunt. I had a copy of it. I read it and I was like, this is the perfect comic book. I want to find this one in better condition, so I was on the hunt for it. Love this one. Barry Windsor Smith, that splash of blood. It tells a story. This one is definitely going to take the win. However, I just got to take one last look at that one before it goes home. It is a beautiful comic book. But Uncanny X-Men takes the win, sending Necroscope home. Next up, we've got Green Lantern, number 87, the first appearance of John Stewart, done by Neil Adams, going up against Classic X-Men number 1. The winner of Comic Bowl 1 is the champion. Going to take a fall. Art Adams, Neil Adams. Oh, this is such a great contest here. We've got all the colors, all the X-Men there, drawn exactly how they're supposed to be. Absolutely no demerits on that one. Going up against this one, too many word balloons. Right away, and a hero falling on the cover. Not very hard for Classic X-Men to take the win on this one and send Green Lantern home. Next up, we got Wolverine number 2, one of my favorites of that limited series, right up there with number 1, if not better, going up against the Dark Knight Returns number 2. Okay, 2 number 2s that might be underrated compared to number 1s. Both of these have lived their entire careers under the shadow of issue number 1. Oh, I'm so glad these two went up against each other here. This used to be hated by me, but it has become one of my favorites, if not my favorite comic book cover. Is it? Okay, he's bruised, he's beaten. I love that. He fills the entire image. Oh, look at the unique use of the trade dress there. However, this image of Wolverine, lit from below, the colors on it, that deep purple turning to that beautiful turquoise here. If you haven't seen this comic book in person, okay, it jumps out at me. The brown in the background sucks a little bit of the energy out of that, and therefore, Wolverine Limited Series number 2 takes the win there. It proves to be the better of the penultimate issues there. Next up, we got Ghost Rider number 1 with the Javier Saltares cover. Text didn't have anything to do with that one. Up against Silver Surfer number 50, my favorite foil embossed cover. This is the one that I bought more copies of when it came out than any other. I think I bought like 6 copies. I remember thinking this is what a collector's item cover looks like. Thanos in the background there, the colors. I even like the orange in the trade dress. Perfect use of foil embossment, but this one, it sums up that time in the early 90s when I was really getting into comic books. I wanted to find a new anti-hero to root for, and Ghost Rider filled that gap. Went on to be done by Mark Texeira. The inks inside of it were beautiful. This story, though, his mom committed suicide, everything. Oh, which one of these is going to take the win? They're both direct sales, and this one vacillates between the direct sale and the UPC, but tonight I chose the UPC to represent it. The foil in this one is the perfectly done gimmick. No other gimmick has been more appropriately used than foil embossment on the Silver Surfer, and therefore it takes the win and sends the Ghost Rider packing. Next up, we've got X-Men Annual 1 with one of the most underrated images done by Jim Lee of those heroes up against Marvel Comics Presents number 70, a Rob Liefeld version of Wolverine and Ghost Rider there. Look at how Wolverine is drawn in the reflection of Ghost Rider's motorcycle windshield. But we've got all the X-Men here done by Jim Lee. That's how they're supposed to be drawn, with a crooked horizon line there. All of these, the beautiful colors there, kicking up dust. But the visage of Ghost Rider there, this is another wraparound cover, and the back is beautiful too. But we're just looking at the front here. I love his shoulder. They don't draw Wolverine like this anymore. I love how his costume is a halvesy, where you can cover it up and see what he would have looked like if his costume was intact. And you can cover up the other side. Well, the lighting's bad there. But you can cover up the other side and see what he would have looked like if he had his costume removed. And that is fun for me. I love a cover that you can interact with. Therefore, Marvel Comics Presents takes the win, sending the X-Men home. Next up, we got Wolverine Limited Series number 1. That beautiful, iconic image done by Frank Miller going up against What If number 7. Rob Liefeld. We got Frank Miller versus Rob Liefeld. This is my absolute favorite version of Wolverine. I've said it before, but his claws were drawn exactly how I wanted them to be drawn. You didn't see Wolverine carrying a gun very often. He's smoking a cigar. That's not done very often anymore. But on this one here, the colors, he's beckoning you to open it. Look at the colors on this one. Oh, okay. The image of the Watcher. What a terrible character he was with that big bald head. He drags this one down. I was rooting for this one so hard. But just that image of the Watcher, I can't overcome it. It's a shame. I love this one. I don't want it to go home. I really don't. Are there any demerits? No. This is almost the perfect cover. If not, okay. It breaks my heart. But Liefeld is taking a loss, and Frank Miller takes the win. Next up, we've got Green Lantern number 47, my favorite image of the Green Lantern, appropriately teamed up with Green Arrow, going up against the Amazing Spider-Man number 300, McFarlane's masterpiece. Different color schemes here. We've got red and black going up against green and black primarily. 2 characters here with the word balloon, simplistic, but with the background done with the 300, the graphic design out, the pink in the trade dress there. This image of Spider-Man is not done by McFarlane. It sticks out like a sore thumb. The pink there. I love everything about that DC cover, and therefore it takes the win, sending McFarlane's iconic image home. That hurts. Next up, we got Lady Death, number 1, the best use of chromium of any cover, and it's a shame that you have to catch the light just right, but I'll put up an image there of what it should be and has the potential of being. Going up against X-Men number 95, Death of Thunderbird here, one of my favorite comic books, not just covers, but comic books of all time. That hero was such a tragic hero, and he died such a warrior's death. I loved it. I love the fact that they didn't bring him back for a long time. They brought his brother and replaced him, becoming Warpath. James Proudstar, John Proudstar, beautiful. This is how you bring a character back. I heard they eventually did bring him back, but I don't know anything about it. Ignorance is bliss. I'm not going to read those, so I'm going to try my best not to let Thunderbird's return influence my decision. Let's just go by the images of these covers. However, I love a team cover where you get a lot of dynamic things happening instead of just a beauty pose. And it would be hard for me to say that this is the recipient of the best cover of all time, just because she's kind of an anti-hero, and I don't usually root for them either. So this was a pretty easy one. The X-Men take the win, sending Lady Death home. All right, next up we've got Justice Society of America, number 9, Alex Ross, Power Girl. Love that cover. Going up against the Uncanny X-Men, number 141, Days of Future Past, Part 1. Oh, you get to see a future possible version of Wolverine and Kitty Pryde in the spotlight there, with all those posters behind them there, but this singular image isolated by that blackness of Power Girl standing there. All attitude. Which one of these do I like better? This one tells a story. So does this one. Look at the trade dress. Beautiful there. Both of them, though. All these images of the X-Men there. The thumbnails. This UPC. This is what direct sales looked like at the time, and I much prefer this image of Spider-Man, and I hate that it comes down to a teeny little thumbnail in the UPC box, but the X-Men has a better one in this case, and therefore it takes the win, sending Power Girl home. Next up, we've got the Uncanny X-Men number 112, a George Perez image here, going up against Spectacular Spider-Man number 56, an early work done by Frank Miller. Oh, but this one, look at the tension. I always say it's the most tension-filled cover I've ever seen. Wolverine trying to hold his claws back. But here you get, look at the background with the webs there, the colors in the trade dress. Any demerits on either of these? Look at how their UPC symbols are very similar on both of those. Anything bad on, just kind of the look of Magneto. I never liked him as a villain, and the fact that he's got the upper hand here. Anything on this one? The pumpkin head of him is a little bit hokey, a little bit simplified, and Spider-Man's mask. That's what it comes down to. I don't like how Frank Miller drew his mask, and the webbing could have been a little better. These lines here are a little too close together. It doesn't balance out quite right. Yeah, all right. Spectacular Spider-Man takes the loss, sending the X-Men on in the competition. Next up, we've got Doctor Strange, number 50, that beautiful holofoil image there. This one is a beautiful cover. Going up against the Crow, number 1, James O'Barr at his finest. Look at how this one, though, when you move it, I love a comic that just begs you to interact with it, and this is one of my favorites there. I've always said that this one is always cut a little short on this side, so you get a peek at the pages underneath, and I think that's the spell that he's casting. He can see into the future a little bit. But this image done by J. O'Barr is just iconic. I know I use that term a lot, but this is nothing but iconic covers here. These are the best of the best, my ultimate favorite. Oh, and the story with Eric Draven there, it really reflects the death of Brandon Lee, and his death was personal to me. I was a huge fan of him way before he died. I loved his work. I was a big fan. This really is a hard decision for me, but if I had to say which one of these represents what I like better in a comic book cover, I really vacillate between the two. Some of me, I want to say this one, the rock and roll, small press, like hard to find one. But this one, again, it's fun. It's what comics are supposed to be. Okay, characters. I loved Eric Draven's Crow. Doctor Strange, while he is one of my favorites, I don't love him as much as the Crow. So, J. O'Barr's version of the Crow is going to take the win over Doctor Strange. Next up, we've got the Uncanny X-Men Annual 11. And when anybody asks me, what's my favorite comic book to read, I point them to this one. This is how Wolverine is supposed to be drawn. He and Storm share a kiss in this comic book that nobody talks about, but it is a warrior's kiss, and it is impactful, and it is one of the most powerful moments in all of comic books. I get a little emotional just thinking about it. X-Men Annual 11. Read it if you haven't read it. Going up against the Defenders, number 10. This was my most sought-after comic book as a child. The nostalgia on this one cannot be rated. I ordered it through the mail. It was the most expensive comic I'd ever bought. At the time it came, and I fell in love with it. I looked at this one. I always display it. This is my favorite heads-up battle of a cover. Does it have enough to overcome the story on the X-Men? What is more important to me, story or image? It's hard. The cover on this one, this isn't about that. This competition is not about story over the art. This one is about covers, and therefore it goes to Defenders because that Horde, the villain on this one, was way too fleshy. I didn't like his design, and I never like it when characters are drawn with just color instead of black, and they're drawn with green in the background. They're just lost. Did you even notice that there's characters in the background there? I bet not. There's not a single line that is missed or lost on this cover, and therefore the Defenders takes the win, sending the X-Men home. Next up, we got Spectacular Spider-Man number 101, that beautiful black and white image done by John Byrne, going up against the Uncanny X-Men number 277. This is another cover that I reproduced. And if I take the time to redraw a cover, you know it's something special. I remember every line that I drew on this one and how much I learned. But on this one, and every time I look at this one, I think he shouldn't have done. Look at how he drew this line of his foot. He should have just left that black line out and left more implied lines. And it's always bothered me. And look at how, I don't know if that's an error or not, but my eye is always drawn to that little section down there. While this is a beautiful comic, and it's one of my favorites that just has black and white with some colors in the trade dress, it's probably my number one in that category. It can't measure up to Jim Lee's beautiful cover done here with Gambit and Wolverine. It takes the win, sending John Byrne's Spider-Man home. Next up, we've got the Ghost Rider number 9, a beautiful Sudium image featuring Jack-O-Lantern and the Ghost Rider going up against this Issa Ribic image of Wolverine number 2 here. where he's sitting there, and you can see the bullet trail that went across him, and it got his book, it got his drink. I love you get to see Wolverine in a moment of relaxation. He's got his shoes off, he was kicking back. This brown yellowish background used to bother me, but I realized that's what my cheap apartments looked like in college. So I could really relate with this. He's wearing a tank top there, the image of masculinity, but he's an intellectual. He was reading a book. This image, though, of Jack-o'-lantern dripping on the Ghost Rider, and he's screaming there like a screaming skull. The lighting on this one, it was just captivating. This is hard. This was one of the top picks in Comic Bowl 2. So was this one, though. They both did very well. I'll have to look and see if they ever went back against each other and which one won. Tonight's a new night, though. Everything's got fresh eyes. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to decide which one. The comedy in both of these, this is the funnier one, though. But this one has Jack-o'-lantern, my favorite character. This is not how I like to see Wolverine, I don't think. No, I like to see him in more action pose. And while this is a funny cover, if not the funniest comic cover that I have, this one, it tells a story, incorporates humor. It's got two villains fighting each other. This is how I like to see him drawn. And Ghost Rider takes the win over Wolverine tonight. Oh, that is such a great competition. All right, the last matchup in this first round is X Factor number 39, that beautiful Walter Simonson issue that wrapped up Inferno, going up against this all-star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder, number 8, retailer exclusive variant cover, done by Neil Adams. So we've got a beautiful group team shot, and this one, which is a gimmick unto itself. I mean, it is such a unique cover. I love those where you get to see two images and you can choose to see either the Joker or Batman. I love how this one was colored. There was another variant, the regular variant of this one, that didn't have the blue in it. It was just black and white. But this retailer incentive exclusive cover had the blue ink done on it, and whoever did that did it perfectly. This one was given to retailers only, and there's something about that where not everybody had access to it. This one was not ever supposed to be sold, and that just puts an extra bonus on it. Isn't enough to overcome this group shot. This was the runner-up. It got second place in Comic Bowl 2, and it means so much to me. I love how each of these characters was drawn. Walter Simonson's take on them. Inferno, running across the top. That was my first crossover story that I fell in love with. Each of these is great. A little bit of the image is lost there on Havoc, though. I don't really like how he was drawn as much. Sometimes I look and I can figure it out, but it's not immediate. I love the way Rogue was drawn. I don't want to send either one of these home. I really don't. I love both of them. Oh, man. Okay. The Rubble. No. Oh, Dazzler. Sometimes I don't like it. This time is Mr. Sinister in the thumbnail. Anything about this one here. The fact that I don't want to crack it. It was graded 9.8. I got a better deal on it, but I don't want to crack it open. And that drags it down. This one could have taken it. No. Okay. Oh, the hardest decision I've had to make is this last one in the first round. And okay. You know what? I need to see these with my own eyes. I need to look at them instead of a digital representation. I want to see both of these with my own eyes. The reflections on here. Okay, Jean Grey. Okay, Dazzler. Everything. I don't see anything wrong with any of these characters. Storm's hair. Okay. Iceman there. Yeah, his pose, he's doing like one of these numbers, and it's like everybody else is ready for battle, and Bobby should be in a battle-ready pose. So it hurts my heart to do it, but that means that this Neil Adams image of Batman and the Joker takes a win. All right, well, I'll get all of these reset. We had 64. We're down to 32. Let's cut it down to 16. All right, well, we're all reset, and we've got the comics in random order. And the first matchup in this second round is Classic X-Men number 1, the first winner of the Steranko Trophy in Comic Bowl 1, up against this Batman number 366, done by Walter Simonson. An iconic image of Batman versus the Joker on top of this building with those gargoyle faces there. I loved how they used the typography, the moon in the background. Is it enough to overcome this Art Adams image of the X-Men? My all-time favorite version of those characters. You've got them all. Angel, Storm, even Sunspire. Colossus, Wolverine in the front. I love this image. In the thumbnail there, this has got a UPC. That's a little bit of a demerit. Any demerits on this Classic X-Men number 1? No, it's the perfect comic book cover. That's why it won the first competition, and it blew Batman out of the water. Classic X-Men #1 is our first winner in this second round. All right, next up we've got Uncanny X-Men #141, Days of Future Past. Love that John Byrne image. Going up against The Crow by Tundra, Volume 3, or issue #3. That beautiful J.O. Barr image. Which one of these is going to take the win? Look at how Eric Draven has got blood on his hands there, isolated with that black border. Going up against John Byrne's iconic image of Kitty Pryde Wolverine with the gray in his hair there. This one sparked my imagination. I wanted to see how the story ended, though. I wanted to see Eric Draven get his revenge. So each one of these is even in that respect. Okay, it's got to be the full image, how he used... Well, this one sets a mood with that border there. Even though the image is not extended until the edges of the comic book. This black border, look at the typography, the use of it there. I love everything in the thumbnail there, in the trade dress. Is there any demerits on either of these? No, it's just, this is hard to find in good shape. That perfect bound comic book. The end of the story. This one kicked it off. My favorite X-Men story, Days of Future Past. Already, we're at a very difficult decision for me. I don't want either one of these to go home. But if I had to say which one of these sums up the perfect comic book cover, I would have to gravitate towards the X-Men. While I love The Crow, the X-Men is why I started reading comic books, and therefore they take the win, and it sends The Crow J.O. Barr packing. I hate to do that. Next up, we got Uncanny X-Men #277. That beautiful image of Wolverine and Gambit going up against Batman #417. That Mike Zeck image of the Dark Knight swinging into glory with the cityscape lit from below. I just loved the lighting on this one. This is my favorite use of architecture and lighting in a comic book cover, bar none. This one, though, I reproduced it. It's got a special place in my heart because of that Gambit. You know what? I was never a Gambit fan. I know that's not very popular, but they try to make him cool. And when you can tell that they introduce a character just to make him the cool new guy on the block, it's a demerit. And therefore, the Dark Knight defeats the X-Men in this case, and we move it on. Next up, we got Silver Surfer #50. My favorite foil embossed cover. Love that one. Going up against Longshot #4, Art Adams. We got She-Hulk there in her leg warmers, hitting Longshot, Spider-Man swinging in, but Thanos and the Silver Surfer colors. Which one of these am I going to lean towards? Okay, if we could only crown one of these, which one would it be? Which one would I say is more representative of a comic book cover that I like? I'd love to show this to people. I think it would amaze people. I love this one, though, the She-Hulk there. Okay, it's always been adventure and cosmic and heroes moreover than the Babe type covers for me. So although I love it, I gotta say Art Adams takes a loss with the She-Hulk there, and Silver Surfer moves on. Next up we got JSA #78, Alex Ross. That beautiful image of Jay Garrick. I love the original Flash. Going up against Conan #19, Barry Windsor Smith's most beautiful Conan cover. The colors on this one are my absolute favorite. A master of painting up against Barry Windsor Smith. Oh, this is so hard for me, but just because Conan was never a character I related to, and he doesn't interact with other superheroes much, although he's a loner. I read these stories and I absolutely fell in love with them. So that kind of cancels each other out. This is tough. This is the hardest one I've had yet. I love everything about Jay Garrick. He's such a hero. And the fact that he's still just such a vision of what humanity can be, I gotta say that it takes the win. Although Conan is great, but he was played by Schwarzenegger and nobody can attain that. Whereas I think Jay Garrick represents the best of humanity and what every person can be at their very best. So, the JSA takes a win, sending Conan home. Next up, we got Wolverine Limited Series #2, that beautiful Frank Miller image, going up against Alpha Flight #13, done by John Byrne. Two of my favorite versions of Wolverine. Which is it going to be? Look at the lighting on this one, but the mood on this one in the cemetery with Heather Hudson. Oh, there's such a backstory there, and Wolverine loved her with such a platonic love. And her boots on that one, everything, the style, I love his jacket, the bolo tie, it spoke to me. There's no demerits on this one. Maybe something in the thumbnail, no, the green complements it, everything plays off each other. Anything on this one that I don't like. I love how his claws were drawn, the reflections on it, the color, the lighting on this one. Oh, these are both just flawless comic book covers. What do you do? What do you go on? Which one did I like to read more? This one was amazing. This one was a flashback. It was a story. It was a dream story. This scene never actually happened in the comic book, and for that reason, Alpha Flight takes a loss, and Wolverine wins that battle. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 47. This is an underdog. It's the black horse in the competition up against Fantastic Four number 112. One of the greatest comic book covers, one-on-one battles of all time. Both of these have tough black backgrounds there. Is there anything on either of these that I don't like? I love Green Arrow, Green Lantern, their dichotomy, that word balloon. Everything on this one. The Thing in his blue trunks there with the Hulk in his purple trunks. Oh, they're both just two characters, buddies, rivals at times. Going up, this is more of a battle. This is a team up. Which do I like to see? I like to see conflict in my covers. Instead of a beauty pose, I much prefer conflict in the covers when it's done well. And for that reason, Fantastic Four takes the win, sending green guys home. Next up, we got Punisher War Journal number 6, that beautiful Jim Lee image, going up against Marvel Comics Presents number 70, another one that features two heroes. Punisher represented in his shirt there with Wolverine and Liefeld's Wolverine and Ghost Rider. Oh, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. Which one am I going to choose? This one's got a little too wordy word balloons. This one's got word balloons too, though, but they're done with those spiky edges that look like they were hand-drawn, instead of just the type over the top of it. I hate that that's what it comes down to, but they were trying to sell me on this one a little too much, whereas this one was more of an artistic take, and therefore Punisher War Journal takes the win, sending Marvel Comics Presents packing. Next up, we got Ghost Rider number 9, that beautiful pseudium cover there with Jack-O-Lantern, and the Defenders number 10, that Buscema cover, Hulk versus Thor. This was the first one that I was so hyped about. There's so much history and nostalgia. It's going to have its work cut out for it if this Ghost Rider is going to pull out a win there. I love it, the illumination, the lighting. This is a newer type of comic book cover versus the old classic one. Which do I like better? Oh, there was something hokey about the Hulk. Something about his round face. It didn't work for me. The purple pants were a bit of a cliche at that point. The stripes on Thor's legs, is that going to be big enough to merit? The rubble in the background, I didn't mind. I kind of liked all these floating heads there in the corner. The word balloons, this one, just sets a darker mood. It's more representative of where I am at now in comic books. This wasn't much of a battle. There's a panel where we can't even show you the immensity of this. They just wrote it off and didn't show it. Don't tell me. Show me. And this one is a better example of that. So Ghost Rider takes the win over this Defenders number 10, one of my all-time favorite covers. Oh, that is a hard defeat. Next up, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 328, Todd McFarlane's last cover on that run. And we got Incredible Hulk 350. We got Jeff Purvis, the underdog. I love his work. His was the definitive work on Joe Fixit. While I like Keown's work on Green Hulk, Professor Hulk, a little more, this Joe Fixit was done. My favorite version was Purvis. I hate this image of Milgrom, but I think it can be overcome. It kind of, in this case, it complements everything. It shows you the worst of the worst, and when you compare it to the best of the best, it reminds you of how good it is when things are good. This one, I love how it interacts with the trade dress. This is my favorite comic book to look at when I need inspiration for drawing. I love this little thumbnail of the Hulk. I love this green tongue in Hulk's mouth there. It's those little details that make it stand out. I love that Spider-Man is hitting him in the breadbasket. He sends him into orbit, but this is my favorite fight. The lighting from below. Oh, this is so hard. I don't want to send either one of these home. They both feature the Gray Hulk, Joe Fixit. In this one, he gets his hat handed to him. In this one, he comes out the victor, and I hated that. The Thing was winning, and Dr. Doom intervened and caused the Thing to lose. The Hulk punches him at the end, and it does knock him out. And this one has no negative connotations. I hate to do it. I was rooting for this one. I wanted this one to win the Comic Bowl. I think it's underrated. I wanted to put this one in the spotlight, but it got knocked out by Todd McFarlane. The Todd father takes the win over the Incredible Hulk number 350. That's the hardest and the one that I don't like the most. That was my hardest one. Oh, that hurts me. Next up, we got Shotgun Mary, number 1, done by Isad Ribic, One of my favorite female covers there, if not my favorite, well, my favorite heroine cover. Up against the Dark Knight Returns #1. She's going to have her work cut out for her. This is an iconic image. Is it my favorite? I loved it. When I first saw it, I didn't like it. It grew on me, but as a kid, I didn't get it. But years later, as a graphic designer, I love it. This one, the fact that you can't see her whole face, that just one eye staring at you with that sawed-off shotgun, her shotgun shell belt there, the reflection on those leather pants, she has 2 guns, the glove on her hand, this one, there's not enough detail. My imagination can go a long way, but when you show it to me instead of imply it, this might be the most controversial decision I've made yet, but Shotgun Mary is taking out the Dark Knight. I'm handing it the win, and the Dark Knight is going home with his tail between his legs. Next up, we got Captain America, Annual 8. One of my favorites. It's going to be hard. Who's it going up against? Fantastic Four #348. Art Adams' version of the new Fantastic Four with 4 of my favorite heroes drawn exactly how they're supposed to be drawn. I love how Ghost Rider's head is a little smaller than it usually is drawn. And that is how it should be drawn. It's got the flesh burnout, although it was kind of jarring. So that is a bit of a demerit, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this Captain America Annual 8. I love it with all my heart, and it takes the win over Art Adams' new Fantastic Four. Oh, that one hurt. Next up, we got X-Men #112. George Perez at his absolute finest, drawing the X-Men. Magneto, Wolverine, holding his claws away from him, going up against classic X-Men #30. That hilarious Stephen Lytle cover where Wolverine has got a robot version of the Hulk's head on his claws, and look at the reaction. There's so much to look at as they're just in awe of Wolverine there. And the humor with Banshee holding a screwdriver there, this one, I wouldn't like it so much if it was the newsstand version, but it's not. It's the direct sales. Everything. The colors on this one. Is there anything that's a demerit on this one? No. I don't really like a villain taking the upper hand, and him, the sweat. It was a little too much of a symbol of the sweat drawn on him. Like he's freaking out a little too much. The mood on this one, nothing is lost. A little bit of the tone is down on that X-Men one. So it takes a loss, sending classic X-Men on to the finals. Next up, we got X-Men #95, one of my favorites, Death of Thunderbird. Going to be hard to beat, but up against Wolverine Limited Series #1. All right, we really have trimmed away any comic book covers that I have a problem with. From here on out, it is going to be the creme de la creme, the best of the best, and I can't wait for it. Which one of these am I going to choose to go on into the final 16? Look at this cover with Wolverine. I redrew this one, and I didn't really like my version of it, but my friend loved it. He begged me. He's like, can I have that drawing? And I gave it to him. He kept it to this day. Oh, the colors on it are beautiful. Everything about this one, but the fact that they ultimately brought back Thunderbird, man, that breaks my heart. And I can deny it to a certain extent, but it would always hang over me that I gave a cover to a comic book that was the death of a character that they eventually brought back. I will never do that. It's my biggest pet peeve of all time. So Wolverine Limited Series takes the win, sending Thunderbird back to his grave. Next up, we got The Crow #1, that iconic image done by J.O. Barr, my favorite, up against Ghost Rider #15, my favorite gimmick cover of all time. Oh no, one of these has to go home right now. Which one is it going to be? Oh, I hate to do it. Which is going to hurt me less? That's what it's going to come down to. Would it hurt me to send The Crow home or Ghost Rider? You know what? This one you can find at dollar bins, and I find it all the time. I love it. And every time I see it, I love that people can experience it. This is a little more exclusive. It's come to be a pretty sought-after, valuable comic. I lucked out and found it at a flea market type sale where this guy who used to work at my comic shop was selling off his collection. I got this one and his first appearance in Dark Horse Presents and some other one. Oh, the Sandman #50. It turned me on to a lot of things. I have a lot of great memories tied to this one. So I guess ultimately it's going to come down to, do I love a comic that you can find in dollar bins and that people can experience, or this one that's you can find reprints of it though, but the originals, I don't know. I can't go by that either. That doesn't really influence my decision. What's it going to be then? Okay, which one do I like to read better? The text art in this is amazing. The J.O. Barr art is amazing in this. You know what? This one is a little too poetic. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that, though. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is so hard. I hate to send either one. This has the gimmick of the glow in the dark. Is a gimmick cheap in this case? No. J.O. Barr, is there anything I'm missing in this? You know what? That gun barrel. It's always been a little skinny for me. Something about that. I wish it was a little more prominent, and that smoke is a little too subtle, and his eye colors are a little too subtle. When you see a comic book cover, it has to be immediate. You can't really search for things in it that are subtle, and that difference of eye color is such a subtle, but you find it, and then it's more magical than the original. Oh, I don't want to send either one of these home. If one of these could represent what I like in a comic book cover, which one would it be? They're both kind of anti-heroes. They're both ultra-violent at times. The spirit of vengeance, the reawake that, you know what, just because Brandon Lee was such a great human being, and the fact that we lost him and he played such a pivotal role in The Crow, I'm going to give the win to The Crow and in honor of Brandon Lee. And while I love that Ghost Rider one, I'll see it every day. I love that. I'll never get rid of that comic book. All right, last matchup, we've got Uncanny X-Men number 212, that beautiful Barry Windsor Smith cover, going up against All-Star Batman and Robin number 8, that beautiful Neil Adams cover that is a gimmick unlike any other. You can see two images at the same time. Oh no, we've got Batman and the Joker going up against Wolverine and Sabretooth, the two greatest rivalries in comic book history. Which one am I going to pick as a winner? Everything great there. All the images in the thumbnail are great. Let me see. Are there any of the images that yeah. Rogue has a mullet. Look at Rogue's image in the thumbnail there. That 80s style of the women who had short on top and then long party in the back, business up front. It didn't work. And I hate to do it, but Barry Windsor Smith's image of Wolverine goes home and Neil Adams' beautiful image moves on. We'll all get these reset and we'll whittle it down to our final 8. All right, I shuffled those final comic books and we have our last 8 matchups to decide who goes to the comic bowl. First up, we got Wolverine Limited Series number 1. That beautiful Frank Miller image going up against the Punisher War Journal number 6. That iconic image done by Jim Lee. Both of these. Oh, look at how similar they are. That image of Wolverine, the placement of his visage is similar on both of those. The claws crisscrossing on that one, and they're up there. It's going to come down to how the claws were drawn, and I much prefer Frank Miller's image of when they actually looked like blades and compared to this, where they look like just pokey prongs or something, when they have an edge, a cutting edge. I gotta say, this one was an easy one for me, and Frank Miller takes the first win of the night in this round up against Jim Lee. Next up, we've got The Crow number 1 by J.O. Barr going up against Batman number 417 by Mike Zeck. Those two titans of comic book cover art. Oh, which one of these am I going to choose? The lighting on this one always jumps out at me. It's one of my favorite Batman covers of all time, if not my favorite. I love his costume. I can't see any demerits. I love how they used the 10 Nights of the Beast there. I love the KG Beast, everything about it, the Crow. I love the font that they used in the cover there. There's no demerits here. Do I have any bad associations with either of these? No. I love that thumbnail in the corner. These are two perfect comic book covers, and I hate to send either one of them home. I just gotta say, though, there's more to look at. It's more dynamic here, with the Dark Knight swinging in, and that architecture in the background. I hate to do it, but the Crow is going home, and it makes Mike Zeck's Batman move on. What a beautiful cover. Next up, we got JSA number 78. We got Jay Garrick, the first and original Flash, the one and only, up against Shotgun Mary number 1 by Antarctic Press. It's an Isad Ribic image. I love his work. We've got Shotgun Mary, a tail light cover, but here. Oh, look at how they're similar poses. One figure right in the middle of each of those covers. I love how these matchups are working out. We got a blue background, a black background. Which one of these? I love this blue. It's my favorite color of blue. I absolutely love it. Black, though, it sets off an image. and his face in silhouette. Oh, should it have been lit any differently? No, it's a perfect comic book cover. Both of these guns. It comes down to those images of guns, of firearms. They tried to kind of promote violence there, and Jay Garrick stands against that. He never used firearms or guns. He never had to stoop to that. His pride, his personality was enough to overcome villainy. So I gotta say, Jay Garrick, the original Flash, takes the win over Shotgun Mary. Although I do like that cover. Next up, we got Classic X-Men #1, the original champion, the OG. Just like the Green Bay Packers are going to go down in history for winning Super Bowl I. Classic X-Men #1 is going to go down in history for winning the very first Steranko Trophy. Is it going to do it for the second time in Comic Bowl 3? It's got to get past Wolverine Limited Series #2 first. That Frank Miller image of Wolverine lunging at the viewer there. His claws, they're amazing. I love how they were drawn. Look at his face illuminated. I like this one more, if not the same, as issue #1. Both of these are beautiful. Look at Wolverine, done by Art Adams. That's what it's going to come down to. Which version do I like? He's unmasked here. He's got his mask on there, this kind of hokey costume, his second costume without the whiskers. All his supporting cast, though. And that's what it's going to come down to. Wolverine is a great hero, but his appeal goes up exponentially because of his support of his team, the X-Men. And for that, no, Wolverine's a loner at the heart. That's what always appealed to me. You know what? That's what appealed to me about Wolverine, was his loner. He was the rugged individual. He overcame all the odds. He was smaller, and I identified with that. He didn't have a team at the beginning. He was an outcast, and I could see that. I didn't have a team for a long time, and that's why I gravitated towards Wolverine. He was gruff. He was unlikable, and for that reason, Classic X-Men #1, although it is a perfect comic book cover, suffers a loss in Comic Bowl 3. The stakes are higher. The lineups are the top they've ever been. So much fun. Silver Surfer #50 is next. My favorite gimmick cover, up against Classic X-Men #30. My most funny comic book cover, and humor goes further than anything else. Which one of these would I rather look at? Okay. The shininess, the sculpture on it, I love it. It wasn't perfect, though. There is something, if you look at Silver Surfer's face there, it was a bit off, whereas nothing is lost in this one. The humor, the expression on all of their faces. This one I can get behind 100%, and Classic X-Men takes the win, sending the Silver Surfer home. Oh, that was one of my favorites to win. Next up, we got Captain America Annual 8. Just one of the forerunners. This has been at the top of the list my whole life. Ghost Rider #9. It's got to beat that Arthur Sudium image. It's got humor. It's got horror. It's Halloween. Jack-o'-lantern, one of my favorite. But this, I've always said, it's my favorite heads-up battle. When Wolverine's adamantium claws hit Captain America's vibranium and adamantium alloy shield. That has always irked me about that. And I hate to do it, but that little bit of people questioning me about his shield, when they just go by what is in the movies, adds that little bit of negativity to this cover. And for that reason, it loses to this absolutely... No, it's got that banner on the top. Casualties of War? What does that mean? I don't remember that storyline. It's a demerit. Does that even it out? Which one of these is going to take the win already? Ghost Rider and Jack-o'-lantern, Cap and Wolverine, the dichotomy, that first page of this comic book, where Wolverine's in a bar, smoking a cigar, and he's just gruff. You know what? Captain America takes the win. After all, I can't believe it. It fought its way back, and isn't that representative of Wolverine? All right, next up we got Amazing Spider-Man 328. Todd McFarlane's swan song on that series, up against Uncanny X-Men 141, Days of Future Past. Part 1, kicking that series off. John Byrne versus Todd McFarlane, the Todd father. All these images in the thumbnail there. This one's crooked. Hulk's busting into the trade dress, and it's the Acts of Vengeance there. I love that storyline. Everything about this one's great. Wolverine with the gray. Oh, both of these I had to open and read. Oh, what a great team up. We got Spider-Man's image there and the Hulk there. I love that they're both direct sales. Which one of these is going to take the win? This one is an absolutely perfect cover. This orange coloring in the background, it didn't quite work. And when I bought this comic book in Red Lodge, Montana at Red Lodge Drugstore, I brought it home and I fell asleep in the car, and my copy slid down my feet and landed and rested on my tennis shoes, and it had snowed outside and my shoes were wet, so my original copy had some water damage. And that heartbreak of getting home and having a water damaged comic book always kind of sticks to that one. So the Uncanny X-Men takes a win, sending the Amazing Spider-Man home. All right, our last matchup is Fantastic Four, number 112. That beautiful Bashima matchup of the Hulk and the Thing, my favorite two people to fight, going up against All-Star Batman and Robin, number 8. That beautiful Neil Adams image here. Which one of these two is going to take the win? This one has always been one of my favorites. I found it at a comic shop that was opened in a basement here in town. They didn't have many comics I was interested in, and then I found that one, and I was like, holy cow. I was about 12 years old, and I was like, how much is it? And they wanted as much money as I had in the world, and I was like, it's worth it. I bought it. I took it home. I read it so carefully. I've cared for it for almost 40 years now. And oh, it's just such a beautiful, amazing, iconic comic book. This one has a story also, but there is a bit of a negative connotation. I had my copy originally graded, and it came back a 9.4, which is fine. But then I decided to sell all my CGC comics. I wasn't into them. I was like, those are not for me. I want to be able to read it. And I pretty much gave it away. It broke my heart. And then I refound it, this one, and I got it for less than what Raws were going for, and it was 9.8, but it's a CGC, and there's a stink around CGC comic books for me. I can't justify opening it because I have a reader copy. I love looking at it, but the fact that that whole stink around the story is there, clings to it, makes this Fantastic Four 112 the winner. Well, we have decided on our finalists. All of these in the winners category on this row here are going to be featured along with this Fantastic Four in the Comic Bowl. And we will crown our winner of Comic Bowl 3 and award it the Steranko Trophy. So join me then. Until then, thanks again and have a great night. All these great comic books, you're going to look at it, you're going to have so much fun. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Of the world's best all-time... Close. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Sending Wolverine back to Golgotha Hill. That's where they crucified. No, I can't say that. That image of Alan Scott. It's not. But by next up. No, let's just do that over. Oh, take a breath. I'm getting lightheaded. Which one of these is going to come out the winner? Get a hold of yourself. Not to let John. This is just so much. I don't even know what to say. Oh, I'm out of breath. I need to take a sip. This might be the most controversial. This might be the most controversial. Look at Rogue's image. That splash of blood. It tells a story. This one's crooked. He's